Hello, I'm Jill Pugh. I'm an attorney in Seattle who practices in employment law, and for 17 years I've been in practice, and for 14 of those years I've been in solo and now small firm practice as I've added an associate. I'm the incoming King County Bar Association chair of the solo small firm section, and I'm also a client of Main Street Financial, where I've come to meet and become friends with Dwayne Crone, who I often use as an expert speaker on malpractice insurance and liability issues at CLEs. He's asked me to come and speak about an area that I'm very familiar with, which is the practice of law in solo and small firm setting. When I meet with new attorneys or those thinking about going out on their own, the number one question they have is, how do you get clients? One of the answers that I give is to blog. And that's probably an answer that you see all over the internet, and it's nowhere near as complicated as it sounds. I know some of the newer, younger attorneys, that's a very familiar term, but I know there's also plenty of solos that have left large firms that maybe aren't as familiar with the concept. The first piece of advice I would have is that when you're setting up a blog or looking to blog is to avoid the free websites. Even though I'm usually all about free and low cost for solos, especially when they're starting out, the problem with some of the free websites, though they're intuitive and pretty easy to get going, is you don't own your material. And if you ever decide to make it part of a larger website, or if you want to expand, or you need to move, or heaven forbid the site goes out of business, you've lost all of your hard work. So for that reason, I think it's very worthwhile to go to a site that charges, and there's a very wide range of prices. You can go to a place, I personally use TypePad, and it's $89.50 a year, which most solos can figure out a way to put that in their budget. And if you can word process, you can do a blog. Might take you 2 to 3 hours to get the first setup to kind of understand, the order in which you want it, how do you want your panes set up. But once you do that, and there's some great, very basic blogging for dummies that would help you with that, you get that set up, really it's no more difficult than creating a Word document or a word processing document. I also recommend for new solos to come up with a narrow topic area. Even if your practice, you intend to do maybe family law as well as some criminal defense work, it's not so good for the search engines when people are trying to find you on the internet, nor for you to establish yourself as an expert in your field, to have posts that are some employment law or some criminal law or some domestic violence posts. It's confusing to the reader, and you're going to rise higher in the ranks and do better PR for yourself if you come up with a narrow topic area that you want to focus on. Make sure that it's very easy from your blog page for people to figure out how to contact you. It's a number one complaint I hear from clients is that they reach it, they think there's great information here, I need to talk to this person, and there's nowhere to it's not easy to figure out how to contact them. Most sites that will set up blogs for you have an About Me page. That's usually the most obvious page. From an ethical standpoint and a malpractice standpoint, you want to make sure every so often you put up, this is not meant to create an attorney-client relationship. And, just surf the web. You can find a lot of great sites that'll give you that very basic language. I have it every so often. I put it in a blog post, and it's also on the static part because a blog has pieces that don't change every time you put up a new post. And so you want to put up something about not creating an attorney-client relationship, that the person needs to contact you personally for that to happen, and that this is intended to be general discussion, not intended to be specific legal advice. But for me personally, the blog has been the largest source of new clients and good clients, because I find that if they have the resources and the mindset to go search out an attorney online, they typically already then come to me understanding that they're going to need to pay for services. They have a certain level of education and sophistication to be an educated user of legal services. And I am what I call a bad blogger, because you certainly should be making at least updates once a week. And I haven't posted it's July of 2011. I haven't posted in probably 4 months. But because I did it consistently for quite a while, and the nature of my practice, I get anywhere from 6 to 8 contacts a week from potential new clients. So for me, blogging is a great way to generate business, and I highly recommend it to people who meet with me.